What's going on, everyone? So let's talk about Bronny James, because Nate McMillan himself said that Bronny James could very well be part of the rotation this year, and I'm all for it. I'm here for it. Talked a lot about Bronny James over on AIS, the Lakers show. Haven't really talked about him too much on this channel. So let's dive into him. I'm going to do player breakdowns and, season predictions, all that stuff, in about another month once we get close to training camp. As we inch closer to training camp, we're still 2 months away. And I don't want to I know a lot of people don't think the Lakers are going to make a trade or make a move, but I don't want to do all these videos and then oh man, now I got to do it all over again. So be patient for that. But I do want to talk about Bronny James, particularly because he's in the news. Nate McMillan said he could be in the rotation, and I think he could be a valuable piece. When I say valuable, I just mean valuable in the sense of a guy that can step up in any moment, a guy that can, have those games here and there. I'm not expecting him to be a starter or play 20 minutes a night off the bench or anything like that. I think there will be nights where he gets DMPs and stuff like that. I think he's a guy that can come in, play a role, particularly on the defensive side. The question is going to be the offensive side. Can he consistently knock down the three ball, right? Because you watch Summer League. Right? They ran their offense through him and he looked great. He was great. I mean, he was taking guys off the dribble, finishing with both hands, finishing through contact, doing turnaround fadeaway threes, right? He showed an array offensively. He looked like you saw the difference, the night and day from year one to year two. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to actually be there to watch him live. Year one, I got to see him live a bunch of times at Summer League. This year I did the move to Wisconsin, so next summer I'll be back there. But I didn't get to see Bronny live, but I watched all the games, and at least by the eye test to be in there, he looked great. Right? He looked to be moving better. He was more confident. He knew what he wanted to do, and you saw that building all of last season. Right? He's a kid that kind of came in, didn't really know where he wanted. He just kind of wanted to sit in the back and just stay quiet and observe, right? Which is fine, but then you started to see him little by little. And then it was the Milwaukee Bucks game. He had that stellar game in the regular season. He was killing it in the G League. I mean, absolutely torching folks in the G League. I've said this a million times, right? If he was anybody else but LeBron's son, anybody else, then people would be talking about how the Lakers got the steal of the draft. And oh my God, he was the 55th pick. Man, the Lakers draft team does it again. But people's hate for LeBron is so great that they want to criticize a young man in Bronny for what? I hear people he shouldn't be taking a roster spot. Who should be? Who? Which pick? There was 3 guys taken after him. Can you even name those guys without Googling them? Where are they at right now? What teams are they on? Should they have been drafted over Bronny James? What undrafted players should have been drafted instead of Bronny James? The funny thing is when I say that, no one seems to ever have an answer, right? Because again, none of those guys are relevant. You can't even name those guys, right? So again, and Bronny, people forget, Bronny was projected to be as high as a lottery pick before the cardiac arrest. Heading into, again, Google exists, look it up. I think he was 12th or 14th to the Atlanta Hawks was the projection off the top of my head. He was the 12th, I think the 12th or the 14th pick to the Atlanta Hawks heading into USC. So he just graduated high school, heading into USC. He was projected, and then he ended up having the cardiac arrest, right? But he was a top 20 prospect heading into USC. He was a guy that was projected to be a potential lottery pick in the draft. And then he ended up, having that, which, kudos to him. Say what you want about the young man. He works his tail off, right? Which I think is crazy because us as Laker fans, many of us grew up, with Kobe Bryant and the Mamba mentality and him doing two-a-days and doing all these workouts and all that stuff. And all we hear, literally, the only thing we hear from anybody about Bronny James is, man, the kid lives in the gym. The kid works his you-know-what off. The kid is hustling and grinding and stuff. But everyone's oh, he's a bum. He's a kid. If we drafted him this year and he was anybody else, right, we'd be talking about him we're talking about a dude Theoro and all this other stuff. But because it's Bronny James, right? It's the name. People dislike LeBron so much that they can't deal with it. And then the whole nepotism thing, I think, is just a ridiculous argument. Welcome to the world. In case you didn't know, welcome. Glad you're awake. guess how the world works, right? Like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You think every successful person, Anthony Mackie did a whole thing, right? Like there was like a viral video. He did it on like The Shop or something like that, where he talked about like every single one of us, somebody came and said, you're the guy, right? Like nobody gets anywhere without a door being open from them, right? Again, even if you're selling a product, guess what? You're reliant on customers buying said product. Nobody does anything by themselves. Every NBA player, guess what? Had trainers and worked on their game and had coaches and people that helped shape, build, and mold them. Nobody does anything without a door being open. So Bronny having the door open for him, isn't that what every single person would want for their kids? If you were in the position with kids, wouldn't you want to open the door for your son or daughter so that way they can walk through and be in a better position? Like, again, glad you're awake. But point is, Bronny James is a guy that is improving. And he's on the Lakers. Like, I don't know how Laker fans can be like, I'm a Laker fan, and then want the downfall of a player on the Lakers. Obviously, not every player is going to work out. Not every player is going to pan out. Some players are most 55th picks are out of the league in 2 years, right? So, even history isn't on Bronny's side. He should be out of the league after this year, but not from what we saw, right? Like, we've had guys that haven't panned out, that do pan out. But why would you want to and hope for that? Why would you want anyone's downfall, period? Like, I've never understood, like, people rooting for somebody else to fail. Like, it's goofy. But nonetheless, right? Like, Bronny's on the Lakers. Why would I want him to be the best version he could be? I want him to be a superstar. Because if he is, guess what? The Lakers are going to be really good with him and Luka Doncic. I don't think he's going to be a superstar, but I also don't know. I'm not going to put a 21-year-old kid in a box, right? He's younger than the draft pick that we drafted this year in Adu Thero, right? Give the kid some time to really emerge. But if he can get in the rotation this year, that's beautiful. Again, even if he just becomes a more athletic Gabe Vincent, right? When the Lakers signed Gabe Vincent, all of us were like, that's a great pickup. Right. And then a lot of us were even talking about how he started to look back because he started off really rocky. Then he got hurt. Right. But towards the back end of the season, he was starting to look like Gabe Vincent again. And we were all like, oh, that's great. Right. Like, even if Bronny just becomes that, even if he just becomes a more athletic like George Hill or something like that. Right. A lot of people want DeAnthony Melton. DeAnthony Melton isn't a superstar or an all-star or anything like that. He's just a really good role player. Right. If Bronny James just becomes a 3-and-D guard off the bench that can initiate the offense, get the ball to Luka, play off of Luka, knock down the 3-ball, but defend multiple. Like, that's perfect. Again, you need, at least an 8-man rotation come playoff time, right? But even more than that, even if he's just the 8th guy on the team, you need that. And if he's really good and he's really cheap and he's helping and contributing to winning and he's doing the dirty work, which also he himself has said he knows and understands. He said himself, I know the only way I'm going to get playing time, the only way I'm going to get the opportunity is if I do the dirty work and I play defense, right? My offense and all that stuff, that'll come. But he said in Summer League, the game that he had, what was it, like 25 away? Like, he was like, I know I'm not going to get the chance to do this on the main roster. Like, he said it himself. Like, I know I'm not going to be able to do this on the main roster. He's not going to get the opportunities to do all this stuff and take guys off the dribble and show an offensive array. Right? He's not going to get to do that because they have LeBron, they have Luka, they have Austin Reeves, they have, Rui Hachimura. They have 8 other guys before him on that pecking order, right? So how is he going to get minutes? How is he going to be in the rotation? By being relentless on defense, diving for loose balls, doing the dirty work, making the hustle plays, making the impact plays, doing the things that attribute to winning that don't show up in the box score. That if you watch the games, you're like, man, that guy is amazing. Like, Dorian Finney-Smith. If you look up Dorian Finney-Smith's just general stats, you're like, he's okay. He's like an okay player, right? But if you actually watch him play, there's a reason most people were like, dude, that is a huge loss for the Lakers. There's a reason that he was our best plus-minus guy every single night because he impacts the game beyond just the general box score. If Bronny can be that this season, just a guy like, hey, you're getting 10 minutes a night here and there, right? Whatever, let's say 55 games this year. 55 games, you're going to average 10 minutes a night. And in those 10 minutes, he's getting you a steal and a deflection and knocking down an occasional three and just, again, doing the dirty work in those plays. That's perfect. Again, he doesn't have to be a superstar. That's all we're looking for a dude Thero to be, right? Like, the rookie this year, what is everyone like? Everyone's just like, man, if he could come in and play some defense, that would be huge for the Lakers. So why is it different for him than it is for Bronny James? Like, if Bronny comes in and if he averages 0 points, but he's like one of our best defensive guards, perfect. We have enough scoring. What's the one thing all of us keep screaming we need? Defense. Point of attack defense. Defense out on the perimeter. Why is Marcus Smart such a huge pickup for the Lakers? Because he gives you that defense. Gives you that point of attack defense that the Lakers really need. Right? Not just that, but Bronny's going to be able to learn from him and be able to, like, I think he's going to be huge for him. Right? And Gabe Vincent's even coming out and sticking up for him. So I love that Nate Millen's like, hey, like this, he's working his tail off. Right? Everyone keeps talking about that. And he's going to get an opportunity on the main roster. I need to see it. Want to see it. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out if you enjoyed these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.